Welcome to this week's episode of Campbell and Jones Meet the Monsters, the podcast that charts the cinematic legacy of the classic monsters. I'm John Campbell. With me, as always, Brendan Jones.
You know, we were just talking how natural it is, John, that after you've tackled, a fake pharaoh, not even a pharaoh, a fake mummy guy, to finally tackle one of the great historical legends of all time, it was a natural, and we finally get to a dragon emperor that we've all heard about.
Well,
one of the famous legends, and who better to tackle it than our buddy Rick?
Yes, Rick O'Connell is back, baby. And that should have just been the tagline, is that Rick O'Connell is back, baby.
And his wife looks a little different.
His wife looks a little different, sounds a little different, we'll talk about. There are so many baffling choices in it. Number one, the decision to do it with a different actress, and then the choice of different actors is also very interesting.
And yet, one of the things I'm going to say now, because this was the first time I watched it.
That's right. This is a first time viewing for you.
I mean, okay. Right at the top of the webcast. What, man.
Right at the top of the World Wide Web, the information superhighway.
I will say this. I want this to get out of the way. Yeah. Maria Bello is great.
Oh, yeah.
I've always loved me some Maria Bello.
No.
Television and film.
Yep.
She's great.
She's always been great.
And she's surprisingly, I think I know why she was cast. She was probably not at the top of anyone's list, but she's doing a very good Rachel Weisz impression, at least vocally and mannerism and so forth. She, however, is not Rachel Weisz, which is immediately apparent. So I thought this would be a disaster for her. Instead, she comes off pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think...
As you said, it's the question of why.
Yeah.
Why do this at all?
I do feel like, yes, she actually, I agree, does a serviceable job with this and took it seriously, clearly. Because, once again, very good actress. But the thing about it is just so much of the reason those first two movies work is that chemistry. And so literally bringing anyone else in is going to throw that off. It's just going to feel weird, and it makes the whole movie... It's not the sole problem with this thing by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
But it is a key problem in the DNA of this movie is all of a sudden this main relationship of these films feels wrong. It just feels... You're going like, wait, but we're referencing the other ones, and it's like if they made a second Indiana Jones movie and they just didn't... Marion's in it, but it's not Karen Allen. You just be like, well, wait, but wait,
no,
what do you...
It was the wrong decision to recast the character. There are many things in here structurally where you're like, there are fixes they could have done.
Yeah.
If they wanted this to be, because it's set in 1946, it's after World War II. So
you've just mentioned the second weirdest decision in this movie.
Yeah, we've jumped up to where the kid, their son, is now himself an archaeological hero, adventurer guy in his 20s.
Yeah,
and yet we have made no attempt to age up Rick and his wife, other than the fact that Maria Bello, I think, is possibly an older actress than Rachel Weisz.
but not like by a whole lot, if at all. I mean, it was
so that's interesting enough. But one of the main problems structurally is this: it's a question of POV.
She, by the way, she's 3 years older than Rachel Weisz, so totally negligible. Like.
Yeah, negligible. But
does read a little more mature, maybe.
Right. But if you want to make this about a married couple who have gotten older and all the adventure and excitement of their youth is gone and they're recapturing it, great. Then you downplay the son. If you want to make this a passing of the torch movie where the young guy takes over for the aged parents, then the aged parents, who aren't going to be that old, but still, the parents maybe should have been bookends where, yes, it's great. We saw Brendan Fraser, and there he is, like, good luck, kid, and then comes in at the end, maybe. But you don't make this a three-hander where we're going to equally spend time amongst these people, because again, Rick and what's her
Evie.
character's name? Evie, right?
Yeah.
He still has the floppy hair. They haven't put any gray in it. He looks exactly.
It's a similar problem I have with the second one, but less so. But like, this franchise was in such a hurry to get to like later adventures. Them having a kid in the second one when they only made it like 2 years later was a weird choice. It doesn't feel as weird as this, where yes, I looked this up. I'm going, they're trying to tell me that they have a fully adult son, and yeah, the whole beginning of the movie is about Rick and Evie. Oh, we're old and our best adventures are behind us. And I look it up and I go, Brendan Fraser was 40 when this came out, and he looks great. He's in just as good a shape as he's ever been. It's so weird.
He looks the same, and that's
so weird. But we're pretending
to indicate that we've jumped 20 years in the future.
Yeah,
because again, he doesn't even have the terrible. This is a trope. I hate this, but the trope of. It's like catching up with the hero years later, and they're like, oof, can't do that anymore. No, Rick is doing all the stuff he did before. There's no acknowledgement of the passing of time.
It makes the beginning of the movie really weird when they're talking about we can't go on adventures anymore, and I'm just going, but you've just decided that. Like, it's not like anything has actually sidelined them. Even something you could have done is, he doesn't have to be old, but even just give him an injury. Oh, that bullet wound in my back makes it harder to do. Nothing. He's still. It is so bizarre. There are just, like I said, there are just so many strange decisions up front of this thing. There's no question that Universal was readying for a fourth one where they wouldn't have to pay Fraser, right? Or maybe more of a handoff where it is more what you're describing with a little bit of Fraser. But they also.
We don't have to even mention the fact that this movie is the launching point of the amazing Lucas Ford, who has gone on to.
I mean. That's another thing. Yes, on that exact point, they've also chosen.
That's me being mean.
My God, is this guy a slab of wood? Just
actually, I think he's game. In other words, there are moments where you're like, I get it. He's handsome and charming, and yes, I did read in the backstory.
Charming is a little excessive, I think, for this.
Well, at least he's able to deliver those sort of quippy things in action where you go, okay. In other words, he's not as bad as some of the leads we've seen in these. He's not Casper Van Dien.
No, he's not Casper Van Dien bad, but certainly, once again, you put him next to the charisma machine that is Brendan Fraser.
Right, exactly.
You're like, this guy's not carrying this franchise.
And no one's, but he was also, of course, a replacement. So that's the backstory stuff where it's like, oh, all right, we'll go with our second guy. And he continues to work, but he went back to, Canada, and has been in TV forever. No, good.
I looked him up, and I'm going, well, he's worked a lot. I've never heard of any of this.
Any of
Not a single one of those projects. Which, I mean, as we always say on all these shows, though, working actor, successful actor, good for him. Yeah, he's not without talent, but we
won't go into too much of it, I'm sure. But if you folks listening to this go to the Wikipedia page and just read backstory on it, there's so many things where you read early draft differences of story, differences of casting. It's like, oh, we're gonna get Oded Ferrer. We're gonna, all these things where you read all of them, they all sound better than what we got.
Absolutely. I mean, the script,
even before it was a Mummy movie, I'm like, oh, this sounds pretty good. But then it became a Mummy movie. You're like, okay, all right.
So I mean,
and then there were lots of interesting changes that would have worked fine.
I mean, because the original. So this is credited to Alfred Goth and Miles Millar, who are the creators of Smallville. But also big studio writers, having done things like Shanghai Noon, and they worked on Spider-Man 2. And I mean, they've worked. They're big time Hollywood writers, and so I'm going, man, this is shockingly bad for two guys who are real pros. But yeah, looking through the Wikipedia has extensive explanation of what the script they turned in was, and it sounds like the basic beats of it are here, but theirs was set in World War II. It would have been more of a preteen or a teenage son who was a much more of a side character. It was also much more a sequel to the other movies. It sounds like it was
That's what I'm saying. There's
a little darker, a little
where,
scarier. The studio, I think, scoffed at that because there's no question with this one. They've been pushing it in this direction, but this one's they go. The kids love these movies, though, right? Because this one really feels like
that drove me absolutely insane. Which I'll just get it out of the way is that they keep hammering. I hate mummies.
Yeah,
and the word mummy. And mummies. Is used 85 times more in this film than it was in the others.
In the other movies that were actually about mummies.
Yeah, and these are not mummies. At no point are these mummies.
No.
And so the whole thing of that where they
not
keep
mummies
just sort of
again.
going, yeah, it's like you guys are so good at you guys are mummy magnets. At one point, I think the brother character says. And it's like,
John Hannah, the lot of embarrassing shit for him to say in this movie. We love John
unbelievable.
Hannah. We love that guy. He's great.
John Hannah, absolutely, but he's given terrible stuff to
Horrible
say. They
stuff
all
to
are.
say. Yeah.
And is the concept of the fact that he used some of the money that he made to open a Egyptian-themed bar in China?
It's not a terrible idea.
Okay.
That could have been
idea.
Fine.
It's a little like, oh, Indiana Jones winking. Okay, fine. But that's all right, you know, But then they feel the need to like, oh, remember how he had he and the camel had that funny back and forth, and it's like now let's make sure that anytime there's an animal in it's John Hannah going, I guess it's me and you. It's animal. I never end up with the girl.
Yeah, that's the thing where it's like
it's lazy, it's stupid.
Well, it really does feel like, I mean, even if I didn't know this, I could just watch this and go, so the people who made the other ones aren't involved. Once again, regardless of what I have much more affinity for those first two movies than you do. But there is a distinct difference here of you are watching people try to, like all the Rick O'Connell quips in this and stuff. I'm like, these are just worse versions of things that were better in the other movies. Like you're going like, this movie knows what the kind of thing this character needs to say right now, but that's not it. And so all of a sudden you're going a little bit like, where's Stephen Sommers at?
Yeah, which is something I never actually say. But I think the things that he did well that launched him still work. But I think that was that Stephen Sommers one-trick pony. I know that you're very forgiving of him.
I love Stephen Sommers.
Huge fan.
But they have brought in an absolute hack on this thing, Rob Cohen, who, and I said people might be shocked to hear me say that because he did direct The Fast and the Furious. He kicked off that franchise, and I think he has made a couple movies I like. However, this guy has no vision of it. Look, his whole career is just bouncing around to tons of different stuff, but not in an interesting, like, eclectic filmmaker with range way. More like Rob Cohen will come in and finish the movie on time and under budget, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, he's coming off of Stealth when he makes this thing.
There's a couple of action beats in this that are okay, but also
he's competent. That's the thing. I think that's another reason he got to get. He'll bring it in on time and on budget, and he has a baseline understanding of what like a movie should play like.
One of the things, another thing that drove me crazy. This is just going to be the entire podcast is. And here's another thing I didn't like. One thing that was great in the first two. Is Rick's fighting style, which is pretty improvisational and badass. And certainly in the other movies, we had seen him do the dual pistol wielding while sliding on something.
I mean, that was what this captured little kid me's imagination. Why I love him so much.
Yeah, and he spins the guns and all that kind of stuff. And this one, we have him do that about 4 times. But what's hilarious is never to any use or advantage.
No.
In other words, they actually don't have him shoot a lot of things.
No.
Or it'll shoot things and not people, or even the undead. So, yeah, there's a couple parts where he slides on the floor and pulls those guns, and I'm like, uh-oh, here it goes. And then and then either the guns are taken out of his hands or he ends up shooting at something else, and you're like, what was the point of that? Was it just so he could have the cool look for a second?
That is something Summers is good. Once again, back to that, and I know I am more, but like that is something that even in Van Helsing, which works.
Well, no, that's the reason you'd notice it is because it worked.
Yeah, that's but even when you watch Deep Rising or Van Helsing, he has those moments. He knows where to do those iconic comic booky hero shots and how to make them in a way that actually feels like the audience is like, yeah. In this, you're like, I guess he shot his gun.
Everything that happens in this movie is where the director, not the writers, I'm sure, but where the studio and so forth are saying like, well, this is what they want. It's like, give them that because they liked it in the other one.
Well, everything in this, you talk about Luke Ford being the second choice. Everything in this feels compromised. We can't get Rachel Weisz back. We'll cast Maria Bello. We don't have Jet Li. Make him CGI most of the movie. You know, just like stuff like that where you're just going like, why are you... It's like, for some reason, they were so insistent on this movie needs to come out right now that we are willing to totally tank this movie to get it made. I mean, it's that classic, like, we have a release date. We have to get there.
Weekend.
Yeah, just keep compromising. And boy, oh boy, is there a lot of unfinished CGI in this thing. Jesus.
CGI is awful.
Like, the CGI is better in the first two movies.
Its time,
from
but
years.
You're like...
That's what I'm saying. You go back to the 99 movie looks better than this.
Yeah, and a lot of the places it does.
Yeah.
And here, you're asking... the concept of... Well, let's build some sort of mythology and work in some kind of magic sorcery thing around the Terracotta Army, which is an actual thing.
I mean, that's what they did in the Mummy as well, right? I mean, Imhotep wasn't a real guy.
Well, to some extent. Now, in the case of the Terracotta Army, those are empty, so there's not people inside them. Mm-hmm. So if they were going to be animated at all, of course, it would just be, statues come to life.
Right.
And this, the Emperor actually had his army turned into terracotta soldiers, and he himself is encased in this ceramic, and then he breaks out. Oh, God.
Well, let's. I want to talk about the poster for it because I want to get into that because the first, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes of this movie feels like it's so much like, Jesus, I got to remember all of this. Okay. Because like the other two Mummy movies have the same kind of mythos, but I feel like they get through it pretty quick. This I thought was a slog with all the mythos they've built for it.
Well, you've got a pretty big intro where they're throwing a bunch of stuff at you, and you're like going, okay. They're making sure you understand the whole backstory, but it is the most Jet Li and Michelle Yeoh you're going to get in the movie, so enjoy.
Yeah, and that's a huge bummer because they really haven't been paired on screen much, which is a huge bummer because you're like, well, two of the greatest martial artists of all time. And then, spoiler, when they even do fight, it's pretty lame. And I'm going, why am I not? This should be the Battle of Titans, and instead just like, okay, it's whatever. Anyway, well, speaking of that, look at this poster, which is promising Brendan Fraser versus Jet Li.
Yeah.
There's no one else on the poster. It's just their names above title. You've got a skeleton army that actually doesn't look like the army that's in the movie.
No, well, the good army that gets raised are skeletal.
That's right. Yeah, and
so
then
they're on his side because they're the good guys.
Right.
And then over on his side, we got the Terracotta Army.
By the way, I love that. It just further adds to Jet Li. It isn't even facing Brendan Fraser and seems to be walking out of the poster, which is actually pretty dead on for what the movie is like.
Yeah,
Jet Li is on his way to another set.
And Brendan Fraser's doing the come on back and fight me.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser is doing his... Yeah, and I think this movie did damage to Brendan Fraser's career, which is not okay because it's not his fault. He's doing the best he can with the material he's been given. He's contractually obligated into a sequel. And then you've got, what is trying to promise the mummy face in the sky that's smearing away with the wind, which is very... They don't do a big face in this movie.
No, there's not a big face.
Yeah.
Which, I guess that's a good thing.
There apparently was in the original draft when it was once again much more.
Yeah, they decided to do something daring and put a big face in it.
Well, I think that once again,
the thing of like
the initial mandate,
a brand new enemy, brand new mythos, but we're gonna follow every similar beat. I'm glad there wasn't a big face.
I do think is the right impulse from the start, and it's something I wish the second one had actually done, was not brought Emotep back. Because I like the idea of just make it an Indiana Jones thing or whatever. Just have them go fight other things. Even I said, even the idea of like, we'll take a piece of Chinese culture, build our own thing. That's all totally fine.
This could have been great as a concept, as a story idea.
Like I said, I saw
and you don't have to call it Mummy. This could have been the Adventures of Rick and Evie or whatever you call the series, something else.
I don't know why it couldn't be called like Rick and Evie O'Connell versus something, or the O'Connells versus the Dragon Emperor. Like,
because the people are going because they're not going because it says the Mummy.
No,
they're going because it's the new Brendan Fraser action jam, and let's hope Rachel Weisz is with him because that's what we all want.
Lord no, though. And there's a lot of I'm sure you saw this. A lot of conflicting stories about why Rachel Weisz is not in this movie.
Yes.
Because she said
I've just had a baby, and I can't do it. But really, it's because I'm gonna go do The Brothers Bloom.
She went and did another movie, but then Rob Cohen said, it's because she didn't want to seem old and have an adult son. Which, number one, that's true. There's no way she would have had to have had that kid at like 17, based on her actual age. They would have been the young, which is also just not true because we saw them meet and fall in love and get married and have a kid later. So, it doesn't make any sense. And then,
oh, dude, this is where I get to be you. Just go with it, man. Don't overthink it.
I could
go with it.
I would if the movie was better.
Okay.
But I will say that is. I said I just don't understand. Why isn't this the Mummy? 5. Why they were always in such a hurry to put the pedal and metal on the timeline of this franchise really has always baffled me.
Time is running out, and it's our moneymaker, and we need at least every other summer to be making that good Mummy money.
Oh no, that's I'm not talking about. But I'm saying, why is the story time moving much faster than real time? That's, if anything, that feels like it's shortening the life of the franchise. In this movie, they
also do the whole thing of having some government guy going, well, as you know, you guys were instrumental as spies during the war, and you're like, we missed that?
Yeah, well, that's what the movie.
Rick and Evie were in espionage during the war.
That's what
they just jump over that.
That's what the first draft of this was going to be. It was going to be Rick and Evie as spies in the war, and then they would have found out that their teenage son had left school and signed up for the military, and they disagree with that. And it's like, okay, that's it. I can kind of imagine what that movie would be like.
Yeah.
No, they got rid of all that shit, and it's just like, because we got to get this guy in. Anyway, let's start the movie out here. We start in ancient China, as told by us in the narration.
Sure do.
It's ancient China, which is being torn apart by civil war, because, as they say, Jet Li's character, the Dragon Emperor, does he have a name?
Yeah. They do call him something, and they go, and he was known as the Dragon Emperor.
Because the IMDb just lists him as Emperor, so I don't know.
He's the first Emperor of China, and apparently, he wanted to be immortal.
I gotta say, he's the one who snuck out of this pretty good. Jet Li worked a couple days.
Really? A couple of days.
I'm sure he got paid a fortune. His name's above title on a summer tentpole movie, but he, he's out of there.
Again, you have one of the greatest martial artists of all time in this,
and he does
also
hardly any martial arts.
A good actor.
Yeah.
But you have him in this thing where, as a human, he gets a fight scene.
Yeah.
And then, as an animated CG guy, they're certainly not going to try and mocap actual martial arts there.
No.
So he just walks around as the Dragon Emperor and changes into different things. You're like,
I just love that it's one of the first.
What is the point?
It's the first piece of trivia. Just since Jet Li was only available, it's like, I'll be in your movie, but like, I'm not moving shit around.
Yeah.
I'm only available on these days, these 3 days that they shot or whatever. My God,
Jesus.
I just love this. Just like, yeah, they didn't go, oh, well, maybe we'll try. No, they were that committed. Anyway, yeah, he has ruthless ambition, they say, and they show that he's a badass because you see somebody try to assassinate him at the beginning, and he does some, quick, not really a full fight scene, just a couple of quick moves, and yeah, sitting in the theater in 2008, I'm sitting there going, oh, here we go, and then, oh, no, all right, now, because once again, I did see this, as I said, opening weekend, was very excited, huge Jet Li fan. I thought, finally, Rick O'Connell versus Jet Li, I'm ready. I did have some reservations because, like, Rachel Weisz wasn't in it. The kid was an adult. I'm like, well, that's weird. But you know what? Jet Li's here. He's going to rule.
Yeah.
No.
And you're always on the Frasier train.
Oh, I'm actually currently putting coal into the fires of the Frasier train right now. Yeah.
And if you do this hand gesture, will you blow the horn?
Yeah. There's Here comes the Frasier train.
Awesome.
Hey man, we're in a great.
And again, he's the best thing in this.
Unquestionably, because the man is he's just a movie star. That you just want to watch him. And thank God he's back and doing stuff that actually, rewards his talent.
Yes.
But he forces he's forced everyone to bow before him with violence. And they talk about all of his enemies are being made to build his great wall.
Yeah,
that's the big
which
thing.
is also historically inaccurate, but sure, you go, movie.
Well, like I said, I mean that stems. I have no issue with that because that stems from the other movies too. They jam fake characters into historical stuff. That's the nature. That goes back to the 30s too.
That's the nature of the beast.
But then this is where you start to, because they go like, I'm going like, okay, yeah, ruthless emperor, he's building the Great Wall. They're like, also he was master of the elements. You're like, okay, wait a minute.
Like the Great Wall is literally, I guess, made of brick and also bodies of people.
Yeah.
They had to make sure you knew, oh, he is so bad.
But then
they're literally, he just puts the bodies
this
in
is
the
where
wall.
But this to me is where it starts to really feel like we're just dumping information. Is where they go, yeah, also he had power over the elements. You're like, what, we're just gonna, yeah, he's got element powers too, just throw those in, sure. And you're like,
well, they're like, basically they made him the Avatar because they're like, he has powers over the elements.
Yeah.
And they list them off, and you're like,
and
you
get Jet Li with swirling orbs of stuff around him, and he's going, yes, I master these elements.
And in his quest to find immortality, he has them seek out a witch woman.
Yep.
Who knows the secrets, and it's our Michelle Yeoh, and it's like he was surprised that she was a hottie. It's literally the dialogue.
Yeah.
And she
Total
is
smoke
a hottie
show
because she's Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
Acting in this thing with the gravitas of someone who is so high above this material.
One of the things I love about
her career, like a Pam Grier, that I'm not meaning to make a rhyme, but a good actor who came up and was pretty much known for B trash. And because Michelle Yeoh, it's only been over the years that people go, holy shit, she's always been this great actor.
She's absolutely one of those people that I think people like you and I hold very near and dear to our hearts, because we saw her for years in genre stuff, and we're always that's exactly what every single role she brings, such gravitas, all the gobbledygook shit she has to say in this, and I'm like, you are locked in, lady. You know exactly what you're doing. And yes, only now in her like late 50s are people actually going, we should give her good stuff to do. Have we thought about giving good scripts to Michelle Yeoh? Did you know she's really good?
We might even not ask her to kick anybody in the face.
Though if she does that, that's great, because I'm so glad she won an Oscar for a movie where she still kicked a ton of people in the face.
Yes,
like, that's true. Never forget, she's also an incredible martial artist. Although
I haven't forgotten.
Wouldn't know it from this movie per se, because once again, she does more martial arts than Jet Li, but still not much.
Yeah. So basically, in this thing, she has the secret, but she knows that he's not the guy to get it.
Okay.
And she reads it on the Oracle Bones.
Yeah,
which is this book made of bones.
That, of course,
oracles
when she throws it up into the air, all the pages go and float in the air.
Yeah, they do. Oh,
we got to get more seasons. So here's the thing that in the original draft was more of a connection to the original movies was it was all the same Book of the Dead, but it had just been translated into different languages. I think that's kind of a good idea. That was fine. Like everybody's working from the same magic.
Actually connect it.
Yeah. That once
and then
again,
someone said, nah.
Yeah, well, that seemed to be a big thing is like, as they went on in drafts, they kept going, take out stuff that actually has to do with the other movies. Never mind. Just forget it.
I mean, if it was something that thin, I actually would have really appreciated it because it doesn't overwhelm the threat of the Dragon Emperor.
From what I gather, it would have just been visual mostly, too. It would have just looked like
it. And quite possibly it would have been an easy tool to, bring in Rick and Evie, because it's like the reason we're seeking you out is not because your son has blundered his way into a thing, because that's what this all becomes. Instead, it'd be like, we thought you should know that it looks like this is connected to the book of
which they established in the first movie. Like Evie's one of the only people who can actually translate, so that would make make some sense. Once again, your mileage may vary with the things they've done, but I think Goth and Millar are, in general, good writers who understand like how to formulate particularly big genre kind of stuff. They do Wednesday now on Netflix, which is huge, and they just wrote the new Beetlejuice movie.
Oh, I hope it's good.
Mm-hmm. Well, obviously Burton worked with them on that and then brought them over.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, Michelle. And then of course also. Totally unnecessary is this whole thing of like, so not only is she trying to fuck over Jet Li by cursing him, she also fell in love with one of his generals, and that's a whole thing that he gets upset about.
So the Dragon Emperor is like, well, the witch lady's going to be mine, and then it's like, wait a minute, witch lady seems to like my general a lot, so you guys want to be together forever? Fine. So somehow, even though he's been cursed, he's still able to curse he's got just enough time and his army, turning him into terracotta people.
They do show he's mid curse when he's doing this shit.
That's right.
He's being cursed, but it hasn't taken full effect. The only thing I do like him quartering this guy, because that's pretty fucking gnarly for like a summer blockbuster.
And they don't show it, but still
they show just enough. Like they show the arms being pulled right up to the moment that they're gonna tear off, and then they cut away. Mm-hmm. But I still was like, all right, that's pretty fucked up. I'm on board with that. Because once again, apparently Universal scoffed at Gotham Millar's original draft that they deemed too much body horror in there.
Yeah.
We
don't want any horror in our Mummy movie.
That was the big thing. It was like, this is a little too dark and scary. Yeah. The people paying tickets to a Mummy movie
to check this out.
Yeah, Gergoni and I coming to see a Mummy movie would have been really upset if it had been dark and scary. Well, Gergoni might have been actually.
He would have hit his face.
He had problems with the Yeti. No, the Yetis were still too much. No, we'll get to the Yetis.
Yetis.
I'm sorry to even bring them up. As I say here in my notes, Michelle Yeoh curses him, and Jet Li and his army turn into CGI goo.
Yeah, they do.
then was it? I have this written. He turns to CGI goo, then to fire, then he's a statue.
Yep.
And then they go, if anyone ever wakes him up and he achieves his eternal life, that will be the end of the world.
I love the way that when he's turned into a statue, it's one of those things where he's in a human pose, and the pose being like,
it's very
like his arms are like, no.
Yeah.
And then the next time we see him, he's, I'm like, at what point did the statue get more comfy?
Yeah, because when they see him in the museum, he's on the chariot, right? And he's doing like a leading his army, pointing this way, gentlemen.
So at what point did he get to change poses to something more badass?
Yeah. And with the last bit of strength, put myself.
I'm here to ask the big questions.
Well, this is one of those. Once again, that is the thing. If the movie was better, I would be like, "Who cares?" But it's terrible, so it's all on the table as fair game. Because I will say, I have not. This is the first time I've seen this since the summer of 2008 in the theater. So we were not happy coming out of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No. No, this one, it wasn't even one of those things that sometimes happen with sequels where you go like, I don't know, This one was like, oh Jesus, they fucking killed this franchise. 1946. We go to 1946. It's so much has happened because it's I think it was when was Returns? It was like 30. It's like 10 years later. Maybe 10, 12 years later, right? Like,
yeah, I guess it would only be like 10 or 12 years later.
yeah. Well,
so
the kid,
is the son only supposed to be like 20 years old here?
I think according to the script, according to Wikipedia, he's supposed to be 21.
Jesus, and he's already leading his own digs.
But of course, the guy looks like he's 30.
He's a genius.
Yeah, and the guy looks like he's 30. You know, I mean, like it's.
Yeah, I mean, he looks youngish,
not in a bad way, but I'm saying he looks like an adult man.
When you get dad and son standing together, and dad has to, as in Brendan Fraser, has to deliver the "I'm sorry I wasn't there for you" speech and whatever, I'm like going, these two buddies are having a chat.
Because
it just does not look like a father and son.
Because it looks like Fraser was like a teen dad when we had him in high school.
He must have been.
I got Evie pregnant at the prom, man, and now this, yeah.
Get your damn hands off my... Oh, no, that's a whole different thing.
Well, but they want to do what is interesting. This same summer, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull comes out. And they're doing
there you go.
What that does, except that actually makes sense because the real amount of time has passed, and he actually is old. Although not as old as he would be. I remember when people were like, are they really going to make a movie with a 60-year-old Harrison Ford? It seems very funny now. And
cut to years later.
Yeah. And I can't wait for in a couple more years where they go, they really going to make one of these with a 90-year-old Harrison Ford? No. But 1946, Brendan Fraser, yes. Rick O'Connell has seemingly hung up his guns, and he's trying to fly fish, and the business. Oh, so much business.
Oh, comedy.
Yeah, this is already, I think this is...
And again, he plays it...
Because he's fucking great.
Because he's Brendan Fraser, but again... They're like, oh, he's our human hero, and he's just trying to fly fish, and he keeps making mistakes, and he hooks his own neck. Oh, it's hilarious.
It's in a tree now, and then
shooting the fish.
Finally, he gets his guns and shoots the fish. And won't you know, that'll pay off later when Evie takes a bite of the fish with a bullet in it, which is
it's
insane. So these chefs prepared the fish and everything, and didn't notice a bullet. How big are these fish?
When we say chefs, it's because apparently Evie, she's got money. He married into a good situation because it's a huge estate.
And we did see that. This is their same estate from the second one that they did.
That's right.
They got a bunch of money from the fame of the first adventure.
Yes.
That they did have this super nice estate in the last movie. But now she's even more famous because we'll find out she writes novels. It's
novels based on her adventures with Rick against the Mummy,
and I will
she's
say,
written two.
Yes, like the Mummy that are called The Mummy and The Mummy Returns.
But
because they had no more adventures, she can't come up with a third book. Is her whole struggle. And I'm like, wait, what about the adventures they just referenced about World War II?
Yeah. No, yeah, maybe, and. There's someone, because she does a book signing, and they're like, will there be more adventures with the Mummy? And she goes, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, I will say...
They're bodice rippers. It's not just that they're action-adventure. They're very steamy.
So it's all horny, middle-aged women who are her fans,
yes.
right?
He took you in his arms.
Yeah, well, because we hear her read... But I will say, I almost fucking left the theater at her, like, is this based on your life? And she goes, you could almost say it's a completely different person. And I almost went, done, I'm out, I gotta leave now, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm winking at the fact I've been recast.
Well, that's the thing, you shouldn't recast, but if you're going to recast, don't do this. This infuriates me to no end. Weren't you a different guy? Didn't you look different? Oh God! Yeah. I mean, unless you're the kind of movie that already has meta built into it, that's the only. But I mean, still,
hasn't Bond you done that too?
Well, I mean,
you're thinking of the other fellow.
Yeah, that's something I hate in Under Majesty's Secret Service is when he goes, "This never happened to the other fellow."
Yeah,
and you're just like, what is that implying? You're a different person. You're supposed to be a different person. All right. Yeah, that infuriated me as a kid even. So yeah, but their lives are just it's so boring being them now. They have this beautiful estate. They're still crazy hot for each other as established.
Yeah.
Although they're old, so he's fallen asleep. That's another thing where it's like when she puts on her like sexy nightie,
yeah,
and is like, let's get it on, and he's asleep. I'm like, once again, he's 40.
Yep.
This was,
womp womp womp.
yeah, god damn it. And of course, they do mention at the dinner table as well. They're like, it's strange. We haven't heard from our son Alex in many months now.
Yes, and he's out digging in China.
Cut to China, and he's out there digging with a professor who will definitely be crooked.
Yes.
Yeah, he's out there, and yes, he's uncovered pretty quickly, like one of the most amazing finds of the century, right?
Yep.
It seems
Because I mean,
it's in his blood,
he
man.
He discovers the grave of the Dragon Emperor. He discovers the Terracotta Army, which, by the way, wasn't discovered till the 70s.
Yeah, that once again,
history.
we know we're in an alternate history world.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like this is the biggest thing ever, and he's like, yeah, but they still haven't found the Emperor himself at this point.
Right.
But
They find
like,
the tomb. They find the entrance
they
to
find
the
the
tomb. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when they get in there,
our rip off Indiana Jones traps in it.
yep.
You're like, okay, booby traps. Watch out for arrows being fired fast. It's just like, oh god.
Arrows being fired fast, and then there's a flying buzzsaw at one point, and then steam comes up out of the ground and melts a guy. And they do when they first go in there, they find the skeleton. They're like, well, I guess we know what happened to Professor whoever, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, classic.
Classic as in rip off. But yeah, I see where you're going.
Yeah. But also, and not just rip off, but like you're saying, like lazy. Like they're not. There's
lazy.
There's nothing interesting about the traps. I'm okay with you also having a tomb with traps, but like, give me something other than just it's just arrows and steam. It's all the same shit.
It's all the same shit. They could not be bothered to think of something original.
The buzzsaw, I thought, was the ultimate when they just, of course, and it's just like, oh my god, that is.
And there were, that was some bad CG too.
Yeah, well, automatically we're already seeing. I mean, right from the start, we're already seeing like, and this is about $145 million budget on this thing. So it's not that they don't have money, and it actually did. It's interesting that this movie put a halt to this whole thing because it still made 403 million, which is
that world?
That's world, yeah.
Because China would have eaten this up.
Yeah.
That was very canny.
102 US.
There you
go. So yeah. Also
that's respectable, obviously, but
one of the big problems
make their money back if it weren't for
here was the other big mistake. They opened the second week of Dark Knight.
Oh, just boy, you don't want to go up against that.
Destroyed by what became the movie of the year. You know, it's like that movie made stupid amounts of money.
Stupid,
is the word. Crazy amounts of that. Was an insane how popular that movie was, and so that also I think hurt them quite a bit, particularly in the U.S. So they find the Terracotta Army. And then the floor also opens and Alex just tumbles into the chamber of the Emperor.
Yeah, that was lucky.
Yeah, there he is, folks, and get used to seeing CGI statue Jet Li because that's what he's gonna look like until the last 15 minutes. You know.
Yep.
Jesus.
Well, every now and then they do the thing where when he does animate and then can walk around. It's a cool concept, but it's terrible in execution where basically anytime he's able to break out of the terracotta, he's all burned and melty on the inside and in great pain, but he's now able to move. But within seconds, the because that's the curse, he keeps the terracotta grows back over him, making him a statue again. I'm like, that's pretty cool. And constantly shedding and then reforming and reforming.
That is apparently there was a lot more of that in the Gotham Allard, and that was where they were deeming this is too disgusting.
Jesus, man. What were they?
Yeah,
What
this is
did
too
they
much
want?
body horror, man, for this movie. And it's just like,
Jesus.
yeah, I'm like, you guys don't know your audience because, like, Emotep, pretty gross.
Yep.
That was one of the cool things about it, and
And
kid
yet so
also.
freaking hot.
Oh man, apparently there
Oh,
was.
Vosloo.
It wasn't. It wasn't. I don't think it was in. It was in one of the drafts. They say it wasn't Gotham Alar, but there was a brief attempt where in the third act they had to resurrect Emotep so he could fight against the Dragon Emperor.
Yeah,
now as their
I'm
ally.
glad that didn't happen.
That doesn't sound like that was in the first draft, but at some point somebody that feels like a studio note going like, can we get Vosloo in here in any kind of way?
Wow, we need some Vosloo.
Well, and I also like, you see Oded Fair said, I was like, they talked to me about it, and I went, what would I be doing in this?
Yeah,
My whole thing is about being out in Egypt. Why would I be in this?
Yes, exactly.
And I think he also was kind of like, if Stephen Summers is coming back, I'll consider, but I don't want to. And also, folks, do or maybe don't Google Rob Cohen and find out about what's happened to that guy in recent years.
Oh, is it a Me Too thing?
Big time. Big
Oh,
time. Yeah. Ooh, boy. That's all I'll say on that. Yikes.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's all that needs to be said. So anyway, they are then attacked by, at this point, a character I was just calling the Ninja, but we'll find out is actually our young female lead, who's meant to be. Boy, this romance doesn't work at all.
It just sort of arrives. It literally just sort of drops out.
Once again,
Ninja-like.
yeah. Talk about what feels like a studio note where it's like, and we got to get him together with a gal, right? Somehow.
That's basically it, and
Yeah.
it has that much logic attached to it.
Yep.
It's like, oh, you were trying to stop me, but you're kind of cute,
Yeah.
and she's like, I know you're not really bad, and you're kind of cute.
And
There you
also,
go. That's the relationship.
but then their whole thing is just like, then they try to add in the things like, but I'm immortal and we can't be together. Oh wait,
Oh.
the magic thing at the
My
end of the
mom
movie.
just needed my immortality. Oh, this worked out
Perfect.
perfectly.
Perfect. This is great.
Oh, this movie's so stupid.
this
It's
was-
stupid.
this was a
We've
late in
already
the game
spent too much
edition.
time on it. We've
This was-
already spent too
This
much
was a
time.
late in the game edition, according to what I've read here about the.
there
well,
you
because
go.
apparently the son really was number one younger and very much a supporting character in the first
Oh,
draft.
good.
Of it.
That would have been better.
Yeah, it would have been. They would have run into him, and like I said, it also would have made more sense to run into him that he would have signed up without their knowledge in the army, and they run into him in the field with the platoon or something like that. It wouldn't have been.
Again, all this
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, like I said, there. Who knows? 'Cause it's always one of those things. But it's like it at least sounds like the logic of that original script sounds like it would flow better at least. Because
Yeah.
this really does feel like put that in now. Get that in there too. So yeah, so she anyway. We cut back to yes, we get our government guy who goes. I love sequels that are just like, it's me, that guy you've always known.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's actually
I
something.
was your go-between for the government back in your espionage days, and they're like, "Good to see you, old pal."
And
we're
before
like, I have no
before
idea
you
what this
before you go ahead and close those windows that writing the emails that you're already saying, because I do think the Indiana Jones movies, because there are actually huge time gaps in reality, may have made that work better. Because it is like, oh well, they also don't. Indiana Jones never does that thing. I like that in those movies they do always say he had tons of adventures. Here they both make it clear that they never had any more adventures and had a lot of adventures apparently. Really weird.
is. Apparently so.
Yeah, because he's just like, and they go, we said we were done. We don't want to do this, and they go, it's a simple courier job. All you have to do is take this to China.
So the whole thing is there is a spark lacking, even though they love each other a lot. They're settling into a life of no adventure.
Yeah.
So he comes in saying, I just need you to take this thing to China. And it's Evie that jumps on it, where she's like going, this could be just what you need. And we could, since it's China, we can stop in and see our son. And then
Oh no,
Rick's-
they don't know the son is there. They can see her brother who owns the club.
Oh, I
Because
thought
it's-
it would.
No, it's
They
because
knew- I
because
thought
they
knew
think
he was in China.
No, they think he's in like England at school because it's a big deal when he's there. Jonathan is hiding the fact that he's been helping Alex, and that's why they're mad at Jonathan.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I watched it last week.
I did too, but luckily I just have notes in front of me.
Yeah, but yes, okay, that's right. We can go see my brother. We haven't seen him in a while. Okay.
This movie needs some comic relief, right?
Yes.
And the thing that they're asking them to curry is the Eye of Shangri-La, which is also talk about another Indiana Jones thing. When you put it in a thing and the light shines through it, it will tell you where. I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
And I'm sorry, but come on. The Eye of Shangri-La. If there's one thing I've always respected about the Indiana Jones movies is, okay, yes, they're using iconography from Judeo-Christian myth.
Oh, yeah.
And the Shankara stones are not a thing, but they are part of an actual... But it's when they just blah, blah, blah. When they just make crap up. I accept that more in a comic, obviously. It's like, oh, the Cask of Winters or whatever that Odin has in his treasure room. I love that in a comic book movie. But in this kind of thing, when they're like, oh, it's the Eye of Bubba, it's just nonsense.
Well, and it also feels like it's like a hat
Magical
on a hat.
MacGuffin.
It's a hat on a hat here, too, because we already have the Dragon Emperor and his terracotta army. But then it's like, oh, but also he needs this so he can get to Shangri-La to not only do we have to bring him back, he then also has to go to Shangri-La to get eternal life and then cross the... It's just like, it's too complicated.
Yeah.
It's too many things.
And I didn't listen to you, which is a problem that I admit. But I did look up Rob Cohen's sexual abuse allegations.
Yikes, indeed, sir.
It's horrible.
It's really
horrible,
bad.
And I'm moving away.
Yeah, it's real bad. It's.
I hope he got none of the $4 that I paid to watch this movie.
Said, and I told you this, I said, I own a 4K of this because you basically can't buy the other ones without them also throwing in this one.
Yeah.
It's a classic thing where it's like, nope, sorry, you got to get the trilogy. I'm like, oh, God. So anyway, yeah, they're gonna go to Shanghai. We then cut to Shanghai before they arrive, and yes, it is Jonathan's nightclub, and it's a swinging affair, baby.
Yeah.
You know what this actually reminded me of all things, was Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy, which ends with Bud and Lou starting a Egyptian-themed nightclub.
So you were hoping they would have worked in a cameo in the back. There's Bud and Lou.
Just give me a CGI created Bud and Lou at one of the tables. They're still in black and white. Yeah, it's like that weird when they jammed in that CGI Darren McGavin and the Night Stalker pilot.
They could have done it.
Yeah, they could have, and I you know what? I think Stephen Sommers would have.
Yes.
So they're in the nightclub. Also, there's an implication that Jonathan is a pimp.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because there's a whole thing where because Alex arrives.
At least he's aware of.
He's at least looking the other way.
Because he steers his nephew. It's like, you don't want to go with her because she's been with every man in China.
Yeah.
And so he's looking out for his nephew.
Yeah. But it is like, that's another thing too, where it's like, I wish you guys would pick a lane on how shady John Hamm is supposed to be.
Yes. And also, if you want to make him, really morally gray, do it. But he's just comic relief. That's all he is.
He really is. And it's, like I said, it's desperateness. And I like John Hamm a lot. But it is, you can just feel him going, these are the jokes, people. I don't know what.
Yes. You can see him going like, I didn't write it. I swear, I did.
He's given it his all, but it's just like, you know what? The material isn't here this time, folks, because he's a real delight in those other two movies.
It becomes my most quoted line from Batman '89. You see what I have to work with.
It really is. We use that comes up a lot on here for a reason. But
it is because it's such a great line of just like, look, I did my best, but I have shit to work with.
And you do realize, obviously, you can learn this lesson a lot, but like how important scripts are by watching this movie, especially in comparison to the other two, which, aren't setting the world on fire with new ideas, but are at least clever, and like at least there's some thought put into them. This
just
thing,
a tiny little bit.
yeah, because you just go like, man, I thought this guy was really funny in the other two movies. Yikes! In this one, so anyway, yeah, because he shuffles him off. Rick and Evie come into the club. Jonathan shuffles Alex into a back room, going like, "Oh no! If your parents spot you here, they'll kill me."
Yep.
And then of course he's talking. He goes, "Oh, so good to see you too. I didn't know you were going to be in China." And they're like, "Yeah, well, hope you stayed out of trouble, you old scamp." And then Alex gets punched through a door. You hear a punch sound, and he comes flying out a door. And then, oh boy, a guy who's way better than this material steps out. Liam Cunningham.
Good to see him though. Come on.
He's great. Once again, talk about...
And again, given nothing in this.
Given nothing, but bringing just the inherent gravitas he has.
And it's another one where he wants to beat up the kid, but Rick's like, oh, and Rick's going to defend his son, but then he's like, this is my buddy. Oh my God, another character that I'm pretending like I've known forever.
Mad Dog McGuire.
He's in the Foreign Legion. Oh, great.
Which I love because they go back when we found the Foreign Legion. I'm going, we saw him in the Foreign Legion.
Yeah, but maybe that was the day that this guy wasn't there.
It's one of those classic things where once you want to have it both ways. They go, remember? Because when we met him, he was in the Foreign Legion. And this guy was apparently his best friend or whatever, a good pal of his. And you're like, yeah, then why wasn't he in that movie?
Yeah, why wasn't he hanging out with the character actor guy?
Kevin O'Connor.
Yes.
Who was the sleazy guy that he knew. That was the guy he seemed to be palling around with in that movie.
Yeah.
But no.
You couldn't trust him as far as you could throw him.
Yeah. Once again, not saying that's amazing, but that's a lot better than anything this character is given. Liam Cunningham is no character. At least Kevin O'Connor was like the guy who kept betraying them. That was like
they're
a thing.
just ticking boxes here. They have to run into an aviator because there will be flight at some point.
Because this is,
and that has been stock in each one of these movies is you have a colorful flyer. In the case of this one, he's not a drunk or whatever. They didn't give much of a character other than I'm his old buddy who can fly.
Yeah, it is like it really talk about a thing. Yeah, exactly. Ticking the boxes because you just go like, man, this is the third old friend of Rick O'Connell's who has an air vehicle of some sort. What?
Oh, God.
Good Lord.
This movie is crap.
Rick, are we going to see any of your old pilot friends on this adventure?
How many did you know?
Also, I can't believe they said...
There was old drunk guy.
Old drunk
there
guy.
Was balloonist guy.
Balloonist guy who had the bit about he had the eye patch that he kept switching eyes with.
Yes.
That was
Come
a
on,
bit.
That's hilarious. And this guy is just British and badass.
He's just Liam Cunningham. His defining characteristic is that he's played by Liam Cunningham.
Yeah. And part of me wishes that Rick had said, well, if my son upset you that much, go ahead and beat the shit out of him.
Well, I could have used this kid getting the shit beat out of him. Good Lord. Yeah, so they know him, and he talks him down. And then, yes, of course, immediately he's like, what do you mean you dropped out of school? Now I'm angry dad.
Yeah, I'm angry dad.
And you basically
the Dragon Emperor. Shit.
Yeah.
Should have been me.
Well, then we cut away from that to a really ill-defined character, the Chinese army general who wants to resurrect the Dragon Emperor.
Yes.
He's pretty ill-defined here.
He's very ill-defined. And you get the impression that it's just because this is post-war and China, I guess he feels lost some kind of face and isn't a world power anymore, and he's like, well, we'll resurrect the Dragon Emperor and I will be his loyal dude, and China will take over the world.
If you look at the movies, the first one is an accident that they bring Imhotep back, right?
Yeah.
In the second movie, it is the resurrection of his great love that's bringing him back. I follow. All right. This guy, though, it's like, yeah, for China, but except for one of those things where it's a classic genre bad guy mistake of like, why do you think this guy is going to listen to you? He's just going to kill you as soon as he becomes all powerful. How do you not see this going bad for you? I love that. Where we're going to bring back this all powerful, unstoppable force, and then he'll follow my plan. What? How many times have we seen people try to do that with Dracula? We're going to resurrect Dracula, and then he's going to be like our guy.
One of my favorite comics of Dracula was Dracula, Company of Monsters.
Company of Monsters.
Did you ever read that one?
It's back here on the shelf.
Yeah, such a great thing.
yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, we bring Dracula back and we're gonna make him our tool, and then he's like, no, fuck you people. Do you know who you're messing with?
Yeah, when people do that with the Frankenstein monster. Okay, it's like a simple and powerful creature but yeah, these guys are thinkers, and once again, they make it clear if you bring back the Dragon Emperor, it is the apocalypse. They state that in the beginning of the movie. So he won't lead China to victory. He's going to destroy the planet, you dumbass.
Yeah.
God. And then even more
John, preach.
Even more ill-defined than the Chinese general is his hot sidekick lady.
Yeah.
Boy, she's
just
nothing.
A lieutenant, a follower.
Yeah, and I had trouble anytime she showed back up in the movie. I was like, "Oh right, you exist."
Yeah,
Okay.
but you can also see boxes being ticked because you sit there going like, "Oh, okay, we know who's going to fight who."
Yes,
They're giving everybody their
Yep.
person to fight, and you're like, "This is lame." So, female ninja who turns out to be Michelle Yeoh's daughter, she'll go up against her because girl against girl, guy against guy. It's gonna be
because
awesome.
I think that's the thing about guy against guy. You say, no.
That's a whole genre.
That is the thing about this movie. We talk about a lot of bad movies on here, and this one isn't as atrocious as some of the stuff because the problem is you can see so they are ticking the boxes. I follow why they're making every decision. However, it's just not good. So it's not as a lot of the movies we watch where you just go like, "What is the script?" This isn't nonsense, but it's just like, oh God, do anything other than just keep this thing on the rails.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a bit.
You're asking too much.
Yeah. So anyway, he's like, we go back to the O'Connells in Shanghai because everybody's in China, but they're specifically in Shanghai.
Right.
And they're like, well, we're mad at you, Alex, but we do kind of want to see the Dragon Emperor since it's going to be on display.
We're kind of proud of you because you've made a world-shattering archaeological discovery.
Well, and they do that thing I hate in so many things where it's like, why, he's the son of Rick and Evie, so he has all the smarts of Evie, but he's just as badass as his dad. As if those are like qualities you would inherit, and you would inherit them 50-50.
Yeah, exactly. You're exactly each one of them.
Yeah. Oh, God, man. So they go there, and yes, they see the Emperor, and Evie's like, you have to be nicer to our son. Don't just yell at him all the time. It's like, well, I'm disappointed in him.
It's like, you never really showed him how much you love him or whatever.
This is another thing where it's like,
this is simple characterization, but you go right ahead.
Yeah, and well, what do you expect? I was a 15-year-old dad. That's another thing. Yes, the two further compounded. This is a classic scene of he's too young to be this guy's dad, and this is not the woman who he's established chemistry with in the previous two movies.
Yes.
So this just feels so weird to watch.
Yeah, it doesn't. It lands not at all. It has no weight to it because it is just stock writing, and the actors, as good as they are, can't sell us on any of these relationships.
Yeah,
we can't actually believe this is a family.
Right. He's playing Rick O'Connell the same way he played in the other movies, but he's sort of just swimming in this movie. Like, it's just sort of like, I am Rick O'Connell. Please point me in a direction.
And occasionally you go, oh, there's the character I like.
Well, because he does. That's one of these things. He does this bit of business where the professor comes in and goes, "Can I see the Eye of Shangri-La?" And he does a whole like, and you go like, very.
This thing is incredibly valuable, but I'm gonna play with it in a charming way.
And it is very charming, but sort of in isolation of having nothing to do with the movie. You just go like, I do like that Brendan Fraser. He is a delight.
You know, I didn't care much for the movie, but I did like that Brendan Fraser kid.
Well,
he's going places.
I will say that is whether Hollywood blamed him or not, I came out of this still loving him. He's great.
Oh yeah, no. He comes out of this movie undamaged
because he's doing
the sad thing of
He's what are you talking about? He's still totally locked into the character. He's game. It's like, where are we going? Oh, that's what we're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, they meet back up.
Let him down.
They meet back up with the professor, who immediately reveals himself to be crooked. And what is the? I'm sorry. Why is he in on this?
Money. I think literally there's a line of dialogue where they go, "It always comes down to money."
Oh God.
I guess that's it.
Yeah, but once again,
I'm going to be paid so much by Chinese general guy.
I love though that's another thing where it's like any amount of money will let me lead to apocalyptic scenario. How does that benefit anyone?
I'll get back to you. Well, it's usually in these things, usually the person who has sold the world out doesn't really believe in the magic, doesn't believe that it will actually happen. So he's like, well, you can believe whatever you want. So I've given you what you wanted, and I'm going to take my money. And when you find out that the magic doesn't work, then it doesn't matter because I'm going to be rich.
Right. So yes, this leads to some action, I suppose. Because they break open the eye of too many things.
And during this, also because they're being watched by Ninja Lady, and the whole thing of their fight meet cute, is all this because the son hasn't been paying attention to mom and dad. He wandered off to follow this mysterious figure around who turns out to be a hottie, and they have a little fight.
They have a little fight, and then so I forgot about this too until I just saw it in my notes again. The Eye of Shangri-La, not only will it, when you put in the thing, will it point you to where Shangri-La is, but it also contains some of the waters of Shangri-La, and that's what they open to bring the Emperor back.
Right.
They do that.
It's like even a drop will bring him back, and then sure enough, a drop lands on him.
Well, but it's not just that. We all it's too many things. You also have to read the inscription, and we need a drop of blood from the pure of heart.
Oh, right. Jesus Christ.
How many things? It's too
many things. Then they
things.
basically threaten, like, I'm going to kill Rick unless you, Evie, give us the blood of the pure of heart.
Oh, that's what Professor Guy does.
Do it.
Yeah.
But she does do it because she loves him.
Yeah. She does. But he opens up. They bring back the Dragon Emperor. And yes, what does Rick O'Connell say when he comes back? He goes, "Here we go again."
I know. He says, "Here we go again." And I raised my hand and said, excuse me, Rick, you have not been in a situation like this. It could be tangentially seen as, you fighting another undead creature, but this is not a mummy. Please don't say the word mummy. And then they proceed to say the word mummy 80 million times.
Yeah. But I distinctly remember that in the trailer, though, is the "Here we go again."
Yeah. And you said, I will be there opening night.
We did go. Once again, these movies were very important to us, the first two.
You were 11, whatever. You were very excited.
Yeah. This, though, I was an adult.
Oh.
Yeah, we were in college at this point. We were just
oh, you've got no excuse.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. No. Yeah. we were about the age of Rick's son when this came. And so,
you had not found the tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
No. So there. Here we go again. Yes. Immediately, Chinese general guy is like, "I'm with you, Jet Li, to the end of the line or whatever." And
he's like, "I will introduce you to the modern world."
And then, of course, immediately, crooked Professor Guy gets his head cut off by Jet Li.
Yeah, he does.
I'm sorry, by the CGI version of Jet Li.
Fast turnaround on him.
Yeah. And then off we go into... Oh, we should also mention that during this whole thing, it happens to be Chinese New Year. That's important because we're going to get a whole fireworks thing.
Okay, again, ticking boxes. They were sitting there going like, well, we got to have another, crazy... chase vehicle scene. And how are we gonna up the last ones we did? Because we had a double-decker bus last
because it was London, right?
Yeah, and it's like, why don't this time we have big boxes of fireworks?
Yep.
Great.
Also, at some point they blow off the head of one of these horses on the chariot, and it's just filled with lava?
Well, it basically the terracotta contains
Yeah.
inside each one of the horses and the statues of the men, the actual living thing,
Yeah.
or undead thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, they blow the terracotta off, and it's like, but underneath is the lava-ish goo that is the thing.
Yeah. And it's like
Makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Because then you get badass like flaming horse hooves and whatever
you've got Jonathan and Evie are in a truck in pursuit of the chariot. Alex is hanging on to the underneath of the chariot with Sexy Ninja Lady, and Rick has taken one of the undead horses and is in pursuit.
Hells yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once again, hells yeah, it's like it should be cool, but it's just not. And some of that is the CGI is not great.
Hoping this would be cool. Yeah, no, the CGI is not great.
Yeah.
But also, we get in way overextended, not that exciting chase. And I kind of just wish they had skipped this or shortened it, because it gets old
at
fast.
A certain point,
and it does
and something else that I was reading as well that was a much bigger part of the original draft was his power over the elements. Where you do sort of, because he uses it here to make the road into ice so their car spins out. But that was a budgetary thing, right? Like, that was like throughout the whole movie, he was constantly using that stuff. And they were just like, can we get that down to like 3 to 4 moments?
They do pick and choose.
Yeah, it's like,
we don't see that a lot.
It's that classic thing of like, well, if he can do that, why doesn't he do that every time?
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't ever seem to like take anything from him to do it, so whatever.
But maybe if they had worked that in to where it's like, I can only do that like once every week.
Exactly. And we also get a quick thing about like, why should we listen to you, Ninja Lady? Because I'm the only one with the weapon that can kill him. And she's got a magic dagger that can actually kill the Dragon Emperor.
Again, it's just made up
jibber
jabber, where it's like, okay, the new MacGuffin is this dagger is magic. It came from Michelle Yeoh, and if it goes into his heart, that will stop him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's all. Once again, that's all fine if you wrote better stuff around it.
Yeah.
So they get another funny joke is they take it. They're all burned and bloodied, and they take a cab. Oh, they get out of the cab and they're all disheveled. And of course, Rick goes, I didn't have my wallet, so John Hannah's got to pay. You bastard. Oh, and you're just going like, man, once again, it's that thing where I go, these are the rhythms of the other two movies, but it's just not landing.
And I'm watching the whole thing going, please introduce some sort of animal that he can bond with.
Is it really even a mummy movie if we don't? You also get a funny bit of business where, once again, in quotes, it's okay, where he hands him a pack of ice and he immediately puts it on his balls. It's like, oh, I needed that. Yeah, hilarious. And then more father-son nonsense. They don't like each other. Yeah, I didn't think about this until right now. Are we also trying to kind of like backward track into doing Last Crusade with the father-son stuff?
Oh, they're clear. They just thought we need dynamics, and it can't be a happy family,
right? Because
that would be boring. So there has to be some thing where the son is constantly trying to prove himself because he never got the affection or respect from his father he always wanted.
Which would have been nice if we had felt that.
Really doesn't know how to be a dad.
That's what I'm saying.
That has given us.
That would be fine if this was Mummy Movie 5 and we had seen more of that relationship coming across. No.
Or if they had tried to not just follow beats from other movies, because again, it is completely Last Crusade.
I'm glad you said
and everyone watching it goes, "Oh yeah, we know how this goes."
I was going to say, I'm glad you mentioned following beats from other movies, because now we get Sexy Ninja Lady going, my family has watched over the tomb to protect. I'm like, okay, so you're Oded Farah in this one.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
Yeah. Once again, you're just ticking those boxes.
We're the Chinese version of whatever their group was called.
What were they called? I can't.
Something.
But his name was Ardeth Bey, which was awesome. That was a great little nod. But I can't remember what they were actually called. So she's doing that, and they're like, well, we know where he's going next. He's got to get up into the mountains to find Shangri-La. And then Rick O'Connell's like, well, I know a guy with a plane. Cut to, here we go.
I know a guy with a plane.
And why have they taken John Hannah with them?
Exactly. Exactly. Unless he was like, look, if my nephew's in trouble, I'm going to, or my family, but even that, you're
That's
like,
what I
no,
love about the laziness of the script. They don't even have him say that.
They don't.
They didn't even include that scene. Because
we bring him along because he has a history in the previous two movies of being lucky in fights, where he's not a good fighter, but he's lucky and things go his way occasionally.
I would have loved if they had even just said that. Honestly, like, they don't say anything.
What it is about you, but things go your way in a fight. So come along.
They just go, he's here because of course he's here.
He's here because previous two movies.
But they make it clear he shouldn't be there in the first two movies and has been pulled in. Oh God. Anyway, so they're flying
holes in this great movie.
Liam Cunningham flies in the mountains. You get a bit. Also, I remember this from the trailer. Was the hey, where are the seatbelts? Oh, there are no seatbelts on this plane. And then Rick O'Connell does the why are we laughing? Once again, you're like, oh, that's the rhythm of a Rick O'Connell joke. And of course, they have a scary landing on the mountain and almost skid off a cliff.
Yeah.
And it leads to maybe the biggest eye roll of a joke for me in the movie. Which is,
you'll have to point it out because this whole movie was an eye roll.
Because, our buddy John Hannah is hanging out in the back with a yak. Well, the yak vomits on him, and he goes, ugh, the yak yacked.
Holy shit!
And
you're
I was
right.
just like,
that is the biggest one. I'm watching the movie.
That would be where I'm having an existential crisis if I'm John Hannah and I'm in a movie.
7-year-olds are losing it at that, and anyone with slightly more intelligence, feels nauseous. Because that's a fine actor delivering one of the stupidest lines
while covered in green goo that's supposed to be yak vomit.
The yak yacked. God damn it.
There's the other one where I'm
punch someone in the face. I really do.
That's another one where Gorgoni had to pull me back into my seat so I didn't storm out of the theater.
Jeez.
What is this shit? Because like I said, the other ones are aimed younger, but they're not that stupid. There's nothing as stupid as the yak yacked in either of those other movies.
No, nothing.
So anyway, they I also it's like keep this movie going because they're like, all right, we landed the plane. We'll make camp here. I go, make camp? Can we just go fight Jet Li? Why are we making camp?
Because there's minutes left.
But by the way, at an hour 52, it's in the trivia. This is the shortest of the trilogy, which I do hate calling it a trilogy. I mean, there's 3 movies. That doesn't make it a trilogy inherently.
No. I like to think of trilogies as actually telling us a story over installments, or at least the life of a character in installments. This doesn't deserve that because it doesn't earn.
It's not a
us sitting there going like, "Wow, we really did follow Rick and Evie through this arc." No,
right? It does. It's that my 4K set says the Mummy trilogy, of course. The Blade trilogy.
Hey, that one really is though.
And then when they start
to Dracula,
I do love when they started making ones up and started calling things quadrilogies.
Yep. Tetralogies.
The Alien quadrilogy. And you're like, yeah. And boy, talk about movies that in no way had any interest in telling one story. So they make camp. Of course, we get the thing where Evie's like, oh, well, obviously you're in love with that girl. And then
she's having mother-son talks and is like,
another
hey.
very cringy joke where she basically asks him how many girls he slept with.
Yes, this I remember. That was weird. And he goes, well, it's not like I don't have any experience. She goes, how much experience do you have? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you're going, oh, don't. No. This is gross. Again, because they don't look like a mother and son. There's not enough age disparity.
Yeah.
And that looks like it could be mom's interested.
It absolutely does. That. It's a very, once again, neither actor's fault, but you're just like, ooh, why did we not cut this? That's an easy cut.
Yeah. Hey, you want to trim even more? You want to make this even less long than the other movies? Let's get.
And then we also immediately have to
scene.
go to a scene of Alex and the ninja girl flirting.
Yep.
So they're flirting, but of course they go like, well, of course we're just keeping this professional. Neither one of us is actually interested in the other.
And I like the way we already kind of know. They try to make it a big surprise that Michelle Yeoh's her mother, even though she's already admitted that she's immortal. And you're like,
Yeah, right,
Who
yeah.
else would she be?
Well, but we
And
saw
the
Michelle
knife,
Yeoh
the
get
dagger.
stabbed at the beginning. She obviously died from that wound, right?
Right.
Yeah, she had to have, because she got stabbed and fell out of frame. So she must be dead. Oh God, yeah, Eesh, boy. Okay, and then of course, yes, you get they're flirting. Rick and Evie are cuddled up, and it's John Hannah and the yak. He goes, "I guess it's just you and me, yak." Oh, I'm laughing.
Everyone's paired up, but
Yeah.
I'm with this animal, which is also concerning.
Man, I still think Yak
Do you think
Yak
John
is.
Hannah's character screws all these animals? Do you think he
I think they're
had sweet, tender love with that camel, and that now it's a yak?
It feels that way. I don't know. I never see him with a woman. That's all I know. But or a man or a human.
There you go.
Okay, I still stand by the yak yak is the low point. But there are more cringe jokes, because if you thought asking his son how many girls he's banged is bad, how about when Rick and Alice compare the size of their guns? They each have.
Someone actually says it's not the size that counts.
Yeah,
Ha,
yeah. Because they each have brought somehow. Don't know how they got them in this room. They each have brought giant crates of firearms.
Yep.
They're talking about like, whoa, Dad, you're still using the, it's like, I got the 45, or whatever. He's got the 9mm, and it's like, well, that won't beat my Colt Peacemaker. Yeah, but you're still using the old Thompson. I've got the new Russian-made, whatever, gun talk. And yeah, it's like, it ain't all about size, son. Yeah, and it's like, and I'm just going, oh my God, this is terrible. And then,
and they have to have known. They're smart, or at least I assume that Brendan Fraser on set and Maria Bello, all of them are
they've been in good
going,
movies. They know what a good
this is-
script reads like.
This is rough.
And then
This is
another one
rough.
that I remember from the trailer that will further is the thing about, you stopped one mummy, Dad. He goes, I stopped the same mummy twice.
Yeah.
And I'm about to stop another mummy because we're calling it a mummy. I guess. Yeah. All right.
And by the way, I should have counted how many times the word mummy or mummies is brought up.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
So yeah, but then yes, we do get the Chinese army showing up, and they're in a big gun. We get a big gunfight, but it's all just so boring. Once again, it's like, yeah, there's lots of guns going off and stuff is exploding, but you're just going, I don't care about any of this.
Yeah.
But luckily, here we go. I've been waiting, because it's the one thing that to this day, Gorgoni and I still bring up about this movie. And when I said we were about to do this, he mentioned it. The Yetis. Here come the Yetis.
See, it turns out that they are aggressive, but if you are spiritually balanced, then they are benign protectors of this Nepalese or whatever it is up in the mountains.
It's Tibet, I think, right?
Tibet, yes.
Yeah.
And so you've got the ninja lady who's
She
Michelle
summons
Yeoh's
them.
daughter. She can talk to them.
She calls for the Yetis.
She calls for them to help, and they are big CG Yetis.
Oh, are they ever? And they look like shit, of course.
And the thing is that, okay, pick your ally army, because we'll also, we have the Yetis, and they're very helpful.
Yeah.
But then we'll also get the good general, who is Michelle Yeoh's, boyfriend. And
yeah.
Ninja Lady's baby daddy.
Yep.
No, daddy.
Yeah.
And he will raise his undead army to fight the terracotta soldiers. And it does just become a CG nonsense thing at the end, where it's a million terracotta bad guys fighting Yetis and undead skeletal guys.
It really does.
And someone in there is Rick and Evie and their kid.
Yeah. It is very indicative of a lot of the problems with these big tentpole movies. Like, so many of them had endings like this. And still, I feel like we've moved a little bit past it, but this was definitely the height of CGI creatures just bashing into each other as the third act of a movie.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, to the extent of you're not able to follow anything, it's
No.
just dumb.
Well, it all feels like they were, and this definitely feels like that. It's trying to do Lord of the Rings and failing miserably.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, so they get that. But it is what Gorgoni always brings up is the Yetis kicking a field goal with a guy. And literally one of the Yetis puts his hands up in the air. Goal! And he goes, yeah. And he's just like, you guys going to talk about the football playing Yetis? I'm like, of course. Yeah. They are, and also, it's one of these things where it's like, the first movies had mummies and undead creatures. But for some reason, the Yeti is like, just the way that they're just like, oh yeah, here come the Yetis. You're like, wait, there's Yetis in this one? It's just like, yeah, they're over there.
Yeah, there they are.
I understand there's like magic in this world, but that doesn't mean you can just have anything show up at any time.
That's where you'd be wrong, sir. I don't believe you read the rules.
Well, I did not read. There was apparently a prequel comic book series that I did not read.
Oh, that's right. I did read that, but I don't remember it existing.
Yeah. It's not good. The Mummy, The Rise and Fall of Django's Axe from IDW.
Oh.
Yeah. Apparently you get more Alex and Rick stuff in there, and their father-son dynamic.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah, that's what I needed, man. Fill it in. You do get, and I remember this in the trailer as well, you do get John Hannah gets the big slow motion, everything's blowing up behind him shot.
Yes, running away from big explosions.
Yeah, but they do fail because Jet Li does put the fucking Eye of Shangri-La in the thing, and it points him the way to Shangri-La.
Yeah, which there had been a point where Rick kind of laughed at like, oh, Shangri-La, like that's a real thing. It turns out it is.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. There it goes. And then
it is also a CG thing. A beautiful, perfect, utopian-looking place.
Yep, of course. Well, but before we get there, though, we get trouble because Jet Li throws a knife at Alex, and Rick dives in front of it and takes it in the back.
Oh, yes, he does. That's right.
And apparently, according to the trivia, Universal did flirt with the idea of killing off Brendan Fraser in this movie.
Well, that would have been smart.
I swear they were just like, we have to pay this guy too much. We got to get him out of here and get this young dude in charge. That really feels.
This is a classic, and again, it's Last Crusade. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh well, I'll use the cup of Christ and I'll bring Dad back to life. So again, it's like the fake. You're sad because one of our main heroes has apparently been killed.
This literally happens in the second movie. Do you remember they do kill Rachel Weisz in the second movie, and they have to bring her back? That's right. Yeah, they actually have already done it in this franchise.
All of this is just ticking boxes.
It's incredible. Yeah, when this happened, I went, "Oh my god, this actually almost exactly happens in the last movie."
Oh man, this makes me sick.
But it's better constructed in the last movie because then it's like I have to defeat the Scorpion King so we can bring Evie back. It motivates the whole end of the movie.
Yep.
Yeah. Instead here it just he doesn't even die for he's dying for like maybe 5. They can't. They're so quick to bring Rick back in this thing too. Yeah. Which, I mean, I'm glad. I do not want him killed off. That would have been a horrible decision.
It is very quickly done simply because they're like, well, we just wanted to make the kids cry a little bit and feel something, but let's not traumatize them so quick.
No. Yeah. But he'll have died between... The next movie will be 40 years after this, somehow, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, he's back in a big way. I can't imagine that they aren't bringing him scripts going,
I've already heard...
What about this one? Old Man Rick and Evie will get Rachel Weisz back because she's in great shape too.
I've heard the rumblings. There is talk.
Look, even if there isn't another Mummy movie with them together, I do want to see them together in another movie.
This is just the thing.
Because it's legit.
I say so many times, that's such an old Hollywood thing that has disappeared of not sequels, but just repairings of actors.
Repairings of people that worked.
Yeah, let's do that. I would love for them to play these characters, but yeah, just get them in something. But particularly after the Tom Cruise Mummy, future episode, failed. Apparently, Universal was like, well, what is Brendan Fraser up to?
What is he up to?
And then he won the Oscar, and I think that really is like, yes, somebody somewhere right now is writing an old man Rick O'Connell movie.
And I would be there for that.
I would absolutely be back. Yeah, I guess fool me again, Universal. But if they got the two of them back, I would absolutely go see that. So yeah, Jet Li does summon a massive avalanche too, and
yes,
at one point, I guess because it must be his wind power, right? Basically, force pushes Ninja Lady away from him.
Sure.
He just does kind of a whoosh, and she goes flying.
Yeah.
And then yes, not only has Rick been stabbed, he's now been buried under snow because they have to dig him out and then get him to Shangri-La.
He's very upset.
Yeah, and
Very upset.
Of course, who's waiting at Shangri-La is Michelle Yeoh.
Oh yeah.
Yep, she's
She
there.
shows back up to loans
And I don't care how
Class and gravitas.
I don't care how bad the movie is. If Michelle Yeoh shows up, it's a little bit better.
It's true.
You're
Again. And she almost invests the nonsense ending with some weight, but
she's doing her best, man. She's doing her absolute goddamn best
she's
to
doing
take this
God's
seriously.
work.
Yeah, I don't know that Jet Li isn't. It's just he's just not a character. Period. So
no, literally he glowers, and I know Jet Li can act, and certainly he is usually
he has a presence on screen. Yeah,
yeah. But in this,
like
it
Bruce
is
Lee.
just, he's just required to do supervillain glower. That's all it is.
I mean, the guy has a. I think he's better used in Lethal Weapon 4 than he is in. Actually,
yes,
I know he's fucking better used in Lethal Weapon 4.
It's a badass fight scene.
Yeah, he actually like does stuff in that movie, and it's like because I remember seeing that and being like, this guy is awesome. So yeah, they get him to the pool of life. He's fine. Rick O'Connell's fine. Everybody, don't worry. Because I go like, well, obviously they're not going to kill him, but I don't know. They could have given it maybe another 5 minutes where it seemed touch and go. No, they just are like, no, we just got to get to the.
They really wanted you to feel
and more John Hannah bits where he's going Shangri-La, eh? Maybe you could use a nightclub or a casino.
Oh God!
He's like,
oh God! And it's again his one note is, how can I turn this to my advantage? And I bet I could make some money off of this.
Yeah. Instead of, I don't know, maybe letting the funny guy have a serious moment where he's like, oh, this guy I love might die. But once again, there's no time in the movie to even worry about whether or not Rick O'Connell's going to die. So,
are we now to CG armies and Dragon Emperor actually becoming a dragon?
Well, yeah, because he's going to show up. Once again, this is where the movie is just starting to like move. Because we heal Rick O'Connell, and then pretty quickly Jet Li is at the pools of eternal life, so that he can show up. He's hurling fire. He steps into the pool, and does he come out as Jet Li? No, he does not. He comes out as a fucking 3-headed dragon. Another big.
He does.
And you just went like, I'm sorry. Now he's just a literal Dragon Emperor. And
you didn't see that coming?
I do remember thinking in the theater, so he's just never going to be Jet Li again. No. Got it, movie. He will be, but I did think, oh God, it's the Scorpion King all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you just have The Rock in the first 5 minutes.
The Rock becomes a CG thing.
Yeah.
And this is the same deal. Though in this one, he keeps shape-shifting because he's a dragon for a while. Then he becomes one of those big lion dog things from Chinese mythology.
It's another like it's too many things. They do make that clear in the Wikipedia as well. The shape-shifting was another late addition. He just had the element powers in the original draft. And you're like, that's fine. Yep. That's his thing. Why shape-shifting all of a sudden? And why did getting the eternal water of Shangri-La give him that power? Because he presumably didn't have this power. But I know there's no answer. No, it's they just do stuff.
I'll get back to you on that.
So now they go, and when he turns into the dragon, he flies off with Ninja Lady. Michelle Yeoh's daughter is taken by him because he's a bad guy and he needs a hostage. I love the idea of an all-powerful, immortal being going, yeah, but I might need a hostage if this goes bad.
At one point, because again, the details here at the end, as a lot, is all just fuzzy because it becomes battle scene or fight scene. But at some point, someone actually does stab him with the dagger, but they
Yeah.
miss the heart or something, and it breaks in half.
Yes.
One person has the blade, one person has the hilt or something.
Yes, that is at the end of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, that will happen.
All right.
So yes, they go, well, what are we going to do?
Let's just jump to that, John. I again getting hungry.
we
even
go-
though you saw me eating earlier.
We go, because they have to keep going roast. He's like, okay, well, now he's immortal, right? So isn't he unstoppable? They're like, no, he only becomes unstoppable if he gets past the Great Wall now. So that becomes our last thing. And they go, but the one thing that works in our advantage is all of his enemies are buried under the Great Wall. And Michelle Yeoh has not the Book of the Dead, whatever the secret.
Yeah, the Oracle Bones.
Yeah. So she can bring them back to life, and we'll raise an army against his terracotta army.
Right.
But once again, they just keep going. Well, why hasn't he
One
won?
of those skeletons is her old boyfriend who's like,
Yeah.
oh, is that my daughter? Oh my God, is that Michelle Yeoh?
Is that my daughter in there?
Big daughter in there. And he
Sean Penn
starts
shows up.
really
Yeah.
fighting
I
hard.
thought it was really bizarre. Sean Penn played this Chinese general.
It is so strange.
Very, very interesting choice. He had such a good time on Shanghai Surprise that he was like, I got to get back to China.
Oh, God.
I didn't.
Wow.
Penn, I don't care how many Oscars you win. I'll never forget Shanghai Surprise. You'll never live that one down, pal. All right. So, yeah. So they have to raise the army because he can't cross the wall. The ground opens up. A bunch of CGI. Oh yeah, because he raises terracotta army.
Yeah.
And then they raise the other army. But yeah, she does say, because we talked about how earlier Alex and the ninja girl can't be together because she's immortal and he's not, and so it will be sad. And they go, well, luckily we need a It's so fun. She goes, daughter, I can stop him, but it will require a sacrifice. And she's like, what is this? Like our immortality. And she's like, nice. Yeah.
It is within 2 minutes. That is what's so funny is that we can't be together because I'm immortal, and that would just be sad. And then 2 minutes later, the solution arrives, and it's very convenient.
Well, it's also that classic, and this is a thing that drives me insane in a lot of movies, is instantly like, I am thrilled to give up my immortality for this man I met a day ago. But
Right,
we are
exactly.
now the most destined lovers.
Oh, do you mean I can die?
Yeah.
Perfect. This sounds awesome.
Right. I don't like when people are like at desperate, like universe-shattering love within, a couple hours.
It doesn't take as long as you think.
I guess not. I guess maybe I've just never met the right person that I'm like, I will go through a magic curse and, because I've just... because these two have no chemistry once again. Anyway,
However, I will say at the end of Speed, I really thought those kids were going to last.
the Speed is a good example though of they fall in love
Speed
just
2.
yeah. Well,
And they
Speed
didn't
2's
last.
Speed 2's bullshit. Speed 2's awful.
I know. Yes.
But Speed actually is a good example of I think they fell in love enough in like I can buy it. Like they were like
you can buy that they're like, we definitely have to hang out and see where this goes.
That's the thing,
because
it's
we
just-
just went through something intense.
I think
together.
the first Mummy movie they fall in love enough over that course of that movie. It's like, they're not like desperate. They're just like, we really like each other. And then years later, they're married in the sequel.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, sure, that follows.
I'll accept it.
Yeah, it's like more than let's go on a date after this. I'm not really willing to accept in these things a lot.
Well, but she gave up her immortality, so.
Well, and that's the thing is like
out.
I being the kind of person I am, I'm going, oh, that's going to cause trouble later in the marriage when there's a fight. And she goes, I'm sorry, I believe I gave up my immortality. If he's like, fuck, there's no comeback to that. Damn it. So let's see. So yes, they raise the armies, but there's too much going on as you're talking about, because we have the everybody's fighting, but then Alex is snuck into the camp where of course they've left the ninja girl unattended and tied up so he can save her. Yeah. What shirt gag? I don't even remember what the shirt gag was. All right. But of course you get a welcome.
Moving on.
We get a welcome to the 20th century from Brendan
boy.
Fraser, who, like we're saying, it's not, he's delivering the lines the same way. It's just the lines and context aren't good.
Yeah.
I love when my notes just say things like "huge battle ensues."
And that's all it is. The end of this movie
Yeah.
is you just waiting to get to how will they take him down.
It's literally it's just Brendan Fraser and Maria Bello are back to back, each shooting at just CGI things. And then right, Liam Cunningham comes into his plane, and John Hannah's got a machine gun on the side of it, and he's shooting down at people now. And it's all just, and there is a Michelle Yeoh and Jet Li sword fight that is somehow lame. And I said, I didn't know that was possible to make those two.
It's just a couple of spins. It's literally just a couple of spins at each other, and it's not worth it that much.
And then Alex has a motorcycle at a certain point. God, yeah, they're throwing bombs. Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. John Hannah drops a bomb out of the plane onto the general's Jeep, the evil modern day general, or the 1946 general, because he will then show up totally burned, still alive, to have a final fight at the end of this thing. You're like, this movie refuses to end. I do like notes. I also have things like Jet Li does something with swirling orbs. I don't even know what that was about. When he's inside the Great Wall of China or whatever, and he just has a bunch of like swirling things around him. I don't think they actually mean anything. I think it's just there to be like, he's doing evil right now, so that
there's some sort of magic evil,
so that Rick and Alex can show up and fight him. Then the evil general guy shows up. He gets crushed in a giant wheel.
Okay, yes, that's right.
And then, yes, the dagger gets broken mid-fight with Jet Li. And then it's Alex and Rick both kill him by stabbing each end of the dagger through him. And then they connect inside of his heart. And then
that's it. Yes, they go in from both sides.
Yeah, and the blade,
and it all just sort of works.
The two parts of the blade come together. And then he what is it? Yeah, they stab him, and then he melts and explodes into a bunch of lava.
Yep.
And then, of course, all of his terracotta soldiers also just fall apart as
per
usual.
Him,
and then, of course, you get them celebrating, but then the everybody's celebrating, but then, of course, the ninja girl has to see her undead father drift away because obviously they can't just come back to life.
That's right.
Yeah. And so he fades away.
But, whatever. He wasn't really a big part of her childhood. There should have been a whole movie.
He wasn't a part of her childhood at all. The guy died before she was even born.
So they really should have not, done. Or the movie should have been from that viewpoint, because they could have had a big touching scene about, why weren't you there for me? I was dead. Why weren't you there for me?
There's just too many subplots going on in this thing. They needed to pick a couple if they wanted to do it.
They really did.
Yeah. That's the thing, too, where it's like, I'm sorry, is this about you and Michelle Yeoh or about your father you never met? I'm not sure. And the movie doesn't care. Anyway, we're back. We end the movie at Jonathan's Egyptian nightclub again, which now, for some reason, I guess because they bond on the plane, Liam Cunningham is the manager of.
Yes.
And he walks off with a couple.
Yeah, there was the bet. It was
not a
bet. It was if you get me out of this alive, you can have my bar. I don't even care.
And he has this where he's in a white dinner jacket and he's got a sexy lady on each arm. He goes, I love this job.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, he's going to go have a three-way in his office. Great.
And the director's cut does allow you to see that.
Yes, yeah. And it's really graphic. And
it's
also
incredibly I was surprised.
Clearly shot on a handy cam by Rob Cohen, so I don't know that was actually meant to be seen by anyone. But Liam Cunningham is there. He was way in on it. Alex and the ninja lady are together. Rick and Evie are dancing. They're still in love, and now they love their son again, and it's all nice. And then we get to but it's second to Yak Joke is the last joke of this movie, which is where Jonathan has packed up his bags. He's getting in a cab, and he goes, I want to go somewhere where there are no mummies. I'm going to Peru. And he drives off, and then a title card comes up on the screen that says, shortly thereafter, mummies were discovered in Peru. Oh!
Yep.
And the whole audience is laughing out the door.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
Did you stay all the way through when you saw it in the theater, or had you already left and you
I
missed this
think I
whole
had
joke?
already left.
Okay.
I think I might have already
Yeah.
left at this point. I don't think I stuck around for very long. One thing I want to note, just because we didn't talk about her too much, we talked about it a little bit, the Maria Bella thing. I think it also leaves a bad taste in my mouth, not only that they recast her, but that they talked about this Evie's better than previous Evies. Did you see that?
And
Yeah.
that was a mistake
Yeah.
to even go that
They
way.
said it's
like,
almost like
this
she's a
one is-
different character.
Yeah, it's like in the first two, she's delightful, but she's clumsy, and it's like in this one, it's like she's finally learned how to, fight. And I'm like, don't say that.
Yeah, but because
And Maria Bello's all proud about how she, I guess, trained.
Yeah.
And so she can
But
keep up with the guys.
except for it, I mean, number one, I always thought Rachel Weisz did kind of keep up with the guys, but also had her own thing, which is she was the smart one in the group. And her clumsiness wasn't ever the butt of a joke. It was charming in sort of that like old screwball comedy way.
Yes.
And
but this ain't your daddy's Evie.
Right, but also too, that made no impression on me in this movie. She didn't seem to be like particularly any more badass or like. Sure, she was there, but like I said, she was also there. Remember, she had a whole fucking dagger fight in the second movie.
That's right.
So
one of my favorite scenes.
Oh yeah. That's the scene you do watch on repeat frequently.
Indeed.
So, Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. I think we're both on the record. Absolutely no recommend on this thing.
Oh no! Don't watch this.
This is
don't
really,
watch this.
especially when you have two other much better ones. Like I said,
Yeah.
I don't like the second one as much as the first one, but it's still light years
Just go
beyond
back
this
to writing
thing.
your fan fiction about their espionage adventures during the war. Just go back to
Oh
that.
man, that is something I would be writing fan fiction.
Yeah, because that sounds awesome.
That does sound cool. Well, I said it's like I mean, maybe it needed work, but it sounded like Gotham Alar were at least had something to offer, had some idea of a new.
Had something else going.
Yeah,
and
it was.
then,
I mean, the idea of doing a movie with these characters in an actual like war movie context. Oh, also, and I think this was probably a reason because it was actively World War II, and in China there was a lot of stuff about Chinese-Japanese conflict in that movie that would have been a backbone of it, and that probably also scared off the studio, going, "Oh, that could be read as political in some way." Get that out of here. That might piss off the Japanese audience. Anyway.
Well,
Anywho,
yeah.
So this was a clash of titans of a sort, or was certainly portrayed as one. I would say next week's movie, though, is the clash of titans we've all been waiting for.
Oh my God!
It is a battle of villains, iconic classic villains, because next week we get to see Bonnie and Clyde versus Dracula.
Oh my God!
That's right, folks. Bonnie and Clyde versus Dracula.
I have heard of it. I have never seen it.
I have never seen it either. Yeah, I don't know. We saw Billy the Kid fight Dracula once.
This is what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this is dumb fun.
I am hoping that too. I mean, I will say, it kind of sounds like that as a plot, like the idea that after escaping from their big bank robbery, they take refuge in a creepy old house that Dracula's in. Okay, why not? I think it's made for 12 cents, though. I'm pretty sure.
And it does sound of a piece with those, grade Z 50s movies like Jesse James Meets Frankenstein's Daughter.
I don't know if it's
Billy
actively
the Kid versus Dracula.
I don't know if that was the actual impetus of it, but it feels like it kind of has to be in some ways an attempt to do that, right?
Oh my God! All right, well, I can only guess what this will be like.
Yeah, Bonnie and Clyde. Once again, I'm expecting there's no one in it that you've ever heard of.
Great.
Yeah.
No expectations then.
Yep. So blissfully, I think it runs about 90 minutes even. So that's good.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's now my favorite movie.
Although we've seen some like 80-minute movies that have tested us. So, but yes, that will. But that will be next week on the show. That's going to do it for this week's episode of Campbell and Jones Meet the Monsters. I'm John Campbell.
I'm Brendan Jones.
And remember, there are such things as monsters.
No, I got nothing. Because again, this movie inspired nothing but hatred.